Well, hi everybody, and welcome back to another one of our Innovators Series video interviews. And this time we're really lucky to have with us Anne Wheat from Google's Pier 57 in New York City. Um, really exciting, interesting place, and Anne's got an amazing background in the event industry. So rather than me trying to tell you about it, how about Anne, you give us a quick intro and background?
For sure. So my name is Ann Wheat. I'm currently the Event Operations General Manager at Pier 57, which is a Google event hub. It is 130,000 square feet of glorious event space. So essentially a small convention center. I come to Google from the NFL. I used to be the Vice President of Guest Services and Special Projects at MetLife Stadium, the home of the incomparable New York Jets and New York Giants. Prior to working that, I worked at a large baseball stadium in Chicago, go Chicago White Sox, and I also come from live theater. So I've been around for just a minute in the events industry.
Fantastic, and that's a pretty diverse background, that's for sure. And I believe you're now the second vice chair for the International Association of Venue Managers. Is that right?
I am. Apparently, I had too much time on my hands, and
Yeah,
so I added one more volunteer opportunity.
that's great. Love to see industry icons like yourself giving back. So you touched before, Anne, on you came from running a major NFL venue. What differences have you encountered now that you're working for a corporate icon like Google?
So it's interesting. When I first took the job, I thought a lot about my background, which is really in guest service and the guest experience as they journey through an event, and changing from a public and ticketed event space to one where we're doing corporate events. It is really similar, but just on a smaller scale. So I often talk about it like painting a wall. And when I was painting the 2 million square feet walls of MetLife Stadium, I was using a very large roller, and sometimes I left behind some flying whites just because of the size and scale. And when I think about what I do for Google at Pier 57, I'm able to paint with a detailed brush. And so it gives me a chance to be more refined in what our customer experience looks like, and also be a little bit more innovative because I have a smaller scale to work in.
That makes a ton of sense. I love the analogy with the painting. Um, how much education do you have to do internally in order to help a corporate like Google understand what running a venue entails? Have you found that's been a little bit different?
I find that it's been different, but one of the things that is very appreciated is that coming from a large public venue, ticketed venue, I had to partner a lot across our facilities team. So the folks that make sure that the facility is ready to run, everything from HVAC to setup, and security, our food team, and I had to partner really closely with those groups at my old venue, and that is something that I was able to bring to Google. And so to create the idea that we call it the one peer team. So everyone's pulling on the same rope together. And it's been a really nice way to bring these different work streams together. And people have been really open to the concept of all of us working together. And it's allowed us to create some efficiencies and really a really lovely team environment. So very open to the ideas that are being brought into the corporate environment.
Fantastic. And talking about that corporate environment, in your opinion, do you think that the corporate world's looking more and more at getting into venue management going forward? I mean, this is an interesting play by Google to sort of take on a corporate event space.
It is interesting. And I would say that corporate events have changed pretty significantly, probably in the last 5-ish years. It used to be very much like person with microphone and slide deck, or come and have a meeting and we'll sit around a table and talk to each other. And what we are finding now is that it is very much more about the experience, forgive me, of being together. And so what we are seeing more and more is that there is a desire to have a big moment, a keynote or an end note where everyone is together, but then the opportunity to innovate together. So if you have a room with 400 people or 500 people, how do you make those 400 or 500 people into smaller groups where they can collaborate? So being around a table together, being able to talk to each other in a smaller way. And so what Google needed was a place to have those big moments and then supporting spaces to have those smaller moments. And that is why they are starting to build more event centers and event hubs. They're also intentionally putting those things adjacent to workspaces so that we can do a little bit of a peek behind the curtain of the really amazing ways that Google builds their office space and how they innovate in their own spaces. And so it's really important for our customers to be able to see behind the Google curtain and to feel like they're part of it. And so that's one of the reasons that we prefer to do them in our own spaces as opposed to going and renting outside venues.
Wow, that's interesting. So, um, so Google's intention is to open more of these sort of spaces. Is that right?
I don't know if they're going to open more of these spaces, but I think we're going to use our space differently. So, as opposed to, again, having standalone meeting rooms for all day rooms where we're trapped in them, it's really effective for us to have systems of rooms so that we can have more of this collaboration.
Fantastic. And I just finished with a final question for you, Anne. What sort of challenges do you find you're facing? Crossing from that traditional like sporting events world into more of the corporate side. Or is that a pretty loaded question for you?
It feels a little loaded. I will say that one of the things, and I think a lot of us that work in events are puzzle solvers by nature. The people that events chooses to be part of our career, we are planners by nature. But then it's a little bit fun when something breaks during an event, so you get to puzzle on how to fix it. Um, I had to do that a lot more when I had more people in a larger space. And so I'm finding that I'm able to get closer to perfect in my planning, um, which has been really great for me. But I do miss a little bit of like something really badly breaking that I get to fix. I like that challenge. I will also tell you that I do have a lot of really great memories of working in sports, and it is very unlikely working at Google that someone's going to hand me a World Series ring like I got to be handed when I worked at the White Sox, and it's very unlikely that I will ever stand in my venue and have someone throw giant balloons at me like Coldplay did, and it is very unlikely that I will get to see Taylor Swift perform on the stage in my venue anymore. So some of those now I get to go enjoy as a guest as opposed to enjoy it while I have a radio going on in my ear. So it's different, not better or worse by any stretch of the imagination.
No, right. That's great. I mean, there's something about working in events, the event world, where we seem to enjoy those crises that happen. Must be something in the DNA of event people, I think. So, look, just really want to thank you and congratulate you on challenging yourself to make quite a change and really starting to pioneer what I believe is probably something we're going to see more of these style of corporate venue management things happening. So thanks again. You are a true icon in the industry and appreciate all you do. So thanks very much, Anne.
Always. I'm always here for you, Steve.